Hi, I'm Jamie. Welcome to my YouTube channel, JamiesArtsaLaCartes. Here we'll explore a variety of crafting mediums, from painting to glasswork to card making, and even throw in a few Cricut ideas. We have a lot to explore, so let's get to it. I had a project that I wanted to share with you. It's actually a large combo project, but it's a community service project. So what we'll need for today's activities will be your trusty ruler, scissors, long, short, doesn't matter, weeding tool. I like the Cricut tweezers, make it easier for me, the scraper, felt stockings. With the felt stockings, we'll be using green today, but I wanted you to see. I'm using this right now. I've used Cricut HTV in the past, but I've just started using this because of the times we are. It's hard to get the Cricut product, but I'm able to get this scissor, and I really like it. It's been easy to work with, so that's always a plus. We'll need a mat. I'm going to use a Cricut, of course, so I'll need the Cricut mat, cardstock, our Easy Press, which we'll plug that in, and then the Easy Press mat. All right, let's get started. So this project entails helping children that are in need in our community. And this is me removing the protector sheet. Very easy to do. Put our cardstock on there. I tend to line up the corners and they go along one edge or the other, usually the shorter edge, and just press it down. What this will make will be little ornaments that we hang on a Christmas tree, and it's been used in churches and community groups. And basically you have 2 ornaments per child. And on one ornament, because we're always trying to protect children's identities, we would say something like a 7-year-old girl would like a doll for Christmas. And then on the second one, it would have something that would identify her to the school, because we work closely with schools, with nurses and guidance counselors and principals, of course. So this would give the school information of who that 7-year-old girl was and how to get this gift to her. So for each one, so say you have 100 children you're trying to serve at a particular school, you'll need 200 of these. So I've been cutting these for a while, but I thought, well, let me show you how to do this, because this might be a community service project that you could take to your area and help children in need. So we'll put this on there, and then let me go ahead and load the other mat. For the rest of the project is the felt stockings. So what these do is these are sort of like the little cherry on top to the gift. And what we'll do is we'll put candy, a little note in there, and a candy cane. And then we'll put a curly ribbon and we'll attach it to the top of the gift. But we wanted to personalize these a little bit. So the way that I decided to do that, I'm going to get another mat out, is to put Merry Christmas on there. We never quite know how many children we're going to serve, so I generally make quite a few. So to work with vinyl, oh, look at there, perfect timing. You basically want to put the shiny side down to the sticky part of your mat. We'll still line it up in the same way, corner to corner, along one edge, and then down the other edge. And on this, I will press it, and that line over there won't matter, and you'll see why. But make sure you press it down well. And this we'll cut Merry Christmas out, and then we will heat emboss it onto the felt stockings. So when it's all said and done, we have these hanging. These are the only thing, these and white lights on a green Christmas tree. And then these are on top of every package. So while one little girl may want a doll and a little boy may want a basketball, ultimately they all look somewhat the same, and they all get that extra little treat. All right, so I think that's where we'll start. We'll move over to the computer and I'll show you how I coordinate this through Design Space in Cricut. So I've opened up Cricut Design Space, and you can see I have multiple projects already designed. We're going to start with the Christmas balls, and I'm going to just show you a few little things about Cricut itself. Over here in the top corner has all kinds of things where you can, if you pick one of the ornaments, you can come over here and you can touch duplicate, and there it is. You can make these all one piece. You wouldn't really want to do that with this project, but let's say I only wanted 2 small ones or 3, you know, you can, over here the little eye tells you, you know, oh, I'm going to not see that. But for this project, we're going to just the way it is. That's how many will fit on a sheet, fits just right. So what you'll do next is you'll say make it, over here, the green button. Go ahead and save it since I fiddled with it. Make it. And then you'll have to choose what size sheet you're using, what material. For this one, it is a letter size. And we don't need a mirror. Mirror would be for vinyl. So I've got it all fitting on one sheet. That works well. Then we're going to hit continue down here, green button. And I'm using an Explore Cricut at this point. It says to set your material, which I have. I've got it on cardstock. I don't need to mirror because, like I said, it's cardstock. It's not on there exactly straight, doesn't matter with this particular project. So this tells you what to push on your Cricut. I moved you over so that you could see the top of the Cricut. You see it's flashing, which mimics what was on the screen. So you push this, and this is what loads your sheet. And I see that little corner popping up, so I'm going to press that down. And then when the Cricut starts flashing here, that's for cut. And now it's preparing, and there it goes. So you can follow along on the screen. See that percentage that tells you how far along in the cut that Cricut is with your project. This one won't take long because it's just a handful of items. And when it's done, it'll spit it out and then it'll start blinking. And you can push this and you unload your sheet. Then to finish up your project, you're just going to touch finished over here, and that will complete your project. You can cut more. This will say don't forget to share your project, and then that takes us back to that first screen. So if we want to go, we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on our Merry Christmas. This one's big, but that's all right. So here's Merry Christmas, and what I did is I went ahead and made this all as one block. You can either weld or attach. There's different philosophies, and you can research what works best for your project. For this one that we're going to cut today, because this does take a few minutes to cut, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say disappear, and we're going to make with just 3. And you see how it's along the top, something that I learned from Jennifer Maker. I love watching her on her Cricut YouTube channel. I'll put a link below. You can spread these out. Why would you want to spread them out? It just makes it easier to cut. And I remember that I had that funky edge on my vinyl. Not a big deal. I can fix it just like that. I'm going to go in, I'm going to just, as off screen, I'm pressing down the vinyl just to make sure that it's on there good. And then I'm going to say continue. Well, let's say we want to mirror it because it's vinyl and we are using 12 by 12. We're going to continue. And with the Explorer, I have to set my material. So I need to set my material. So with that, I will come back and I'm going to put between vinyl and iron-on. I found that works best with this felt. And then once again, this tells me, look what I did. I touched it too soon. Perfect timing to flub up. There you go. So if you touch it, you just touch it again. So this says to load the mat. And then Cricut tells us it's ready to cut. And then it proceeds to cut. Once again, the screen will tell us, what percent is done. And while that's finishing up cutting, there's one other thing we need to do before we can go back to our work desk, our work table. We need to look up Cricut's heat guide. It's sort of foolproof, helps you to get the end product that you'd like to have. So with this heat guide, basically it's Cricut.com/heat guide. You'll go to, I have a Cricut Easy Press, and then I'm going to pick my material that I'm putting on, our transfer. So basically we have, excuse me, we want to pick, nope, not mesh. We were right the first time. And then we have felt, a felt stocking, and we're going to use our Easy Press mat. You hit apply, and then it tells you to preheat your fabric for 5 seconds. You want it set at 300 for 15 seconds with firm pressure. And you peel the backing off when it's cool. Supplies, preparation, and application. So it's pretty cool that it gives you everything that you need. All right, let's head on over to the work table. Okay, let's see what we have. So here's the first cut that we made. So these are our ornaments, and basically you want to just pull your back off your Cricut cutting mat, and there you go. We have our ornaments left behind, but that's okay. So then to get the ornaments off, I use my handy dandy scraper and basically just go around the ornaments, and there they are. Pretty simple, easy to do. I just do it around. It helps it not to have a big bow in it. Sometimes it still does. And the way I'm going to store these, because we won't use these until the end of the year, end of October, beginning of November, something like that. By the time we get to, they'll be pressed out by the time we get to the point where we need them. And there we are. See how that one bent a little bit? Not a big deal. Look at this scraper. Don't you just love it? All right, so there's that. That's the ornament for a manual tree. And so here is the Merry Christmas in vinyl that we just cut out. We move these out of the way so that we have a place to work. All right. Alright, so the easiest way, and you see me turn it over, that's another Jennifer Maker tip. Love it. It works good for me. Basically, I'm just gently pulling my mat, pulling the vinyl off my mat. It helps me not to get a curl. Before, I used to have terrible curls in there, and you can see it's cut crooked. Don't really care. And basically, I'm just going to use the letters as a guide. Probably can't see that on camera. Sorry about that. Put that over there. And then just cut them apart, which is why I adjusted that over there on the screen. So it gave me room to have room to cut. So basically, I'm just going to trim them up. They don't have to be perfect. Kids will look at it after they eat all the candy, but that's okay too. So there we are. And what I found is after I did a few rounds of these, I was like, wow, I've got a lot of product that I don't really want to waste, and I'll show you what I mean by that. That will be the negative space behind the letters when I peel this apart. But I came up with a unique way to not be wasteful. So basically, you just trim them up, and then the way to get these apart is plastic to plastic versus vinyl. So I just take it, and I always have a little bit of extra on the corner in my design. Try to think of it, lay it out so that I have that. And you just get it apart. And it knows the camera's watching. So basically, you're just going to take it and you're going to pull it gently, and you're just going to remove the carrier sheet, which is this clear sheet, from the background vinyl. I'm being extra careful because I have a plan for that background vinyl. Making a bajillion of these stockings, so I wanted to use all the product that I could. Put these over to the side. So we have this, and we have these. We need to weed. They call it weed when you move the background that you don't need. So like that center of that E, we'll just get in there. We'll loosen it up. Get our tweezers. That's why I love these tweezers. They make that so much easier than regular digging it out with something else. And again, this tool is perfect. Sorry, my finger's in the way. But you just sort of get in there and you loosen it up. And then I use the tweezers to go in there and pull it apart. And basically take the extra out. And then one thing, when I always do a test and go and ask my husband what he thought, what he thinks of the project that I'm working on, and my father-in-law happened to be here that day, and he was like, oh, they need something, so how about nipping off the corners of that one with the background? I said, oh, great idea. So that's exactly what we did. Alright, so now it's time to make our handy dandy stockings. So they're felt stockings. We'll turn on our Cricut. It'll come up to speed. We'll warm up our felt, and then we'll press these on, and I'll show you the end product. We have several already made. So to set, let me move this where you can see it. To set the Cricut temperature, it's super simple. Basically, you're just going to touch the temperature temp. It's set at 250, but I want it to go to 300, which we saw on the screen. And then hit the temp again. It's at 120. It'll get there. My timer, I want it to be, it's at 30. I want it to go down to 15. And it'll beep as soon as it gets up there. So something that's really cool with this project is that not only is it a community project, community service project, but it also opens doors to just reaching out to the schools. Schools sometimes find themselves in great need, and it's just simple little things. We'll do the Christmas stockings at the beginning of the school year. We will do backpacks stuffed with supplies, but then at Christmas time, like when that second semester, not necessarily what they call it in elementary, but when they go back after holiday break, we create a package for the nurses and the all the clinics with hand sanitizer and different items that they find that they need, just so that they can help as many students as possible. They are very grateful. They've just expressed a huge amount of gratitude with whatever we bring, whenever we bring it. So it's a win-win situation for everyone involved. I don't really get to see the children that get the products, to get the gifts, that get the stockings, but that's really not why we do it. And there's Cricut saying, oh, we're ready. So it told us to pre-press for 5 seconds, so let's do that. Now we're going to use this timer. We won't use the whole thing, but that's okay. Oops. Push the green to go. And I'm applying firm pressure. There's our 5 seconds to warm it up. I'm going to use the rickrack to line this up. And then on this one, I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay. And here we go. Firm pressure for 15 seconds. It's amazing what you can do in 15 seconds. Alright. So this one, I'll trim that up. No, don't really need to. Look at that. So there's one. And it does go right around the corner. How about that? That's pretty cool. And this one, cool to the touch. So we'll try to fake it here for a second. Pull this down. And then just gently peel it. Peels off very, very easy. So that's our carrier sheet. This is the only waste we have out of the whole project. So that's kind of cool. So there are stockings that we will share with children come this holiday season. So I'm going to turn this off, move this over. I want to show you, I promised to show you the full project. So this is what I've been working on. So we have lots in here, lots. At the bottom are all the ornaments. So we've cut tons and tons and tons of these. So we have a lot of these. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Until next time, remember, craft a life you're passionate about. Until next time, happy crafting!